What if I told you you already have an AI employee sitting in your Google Drive right now and you just don't know how to activate it? That's literally what NotebookLM is. And the best bit is it's free. 99% of people are using it completely wrong. I'm Brooke, help women entrepreneurs use AI and automation systems to scale. I own Write Mode, and today I'm going to show you how to use NotebookLM the way service business owners actually should, not for research papers or for student flashcards, but for real business operations. So by the end of this video, you'll know how to turn your Google Docs into SOPs and a searchable knowledge base, build a client onboarding system your team can actually use, generate case studies from those messy project notes, create training materials automatically, and I'm saving the best to last. Stick around at the end because I'm going to show you how to put your entire NotebookLM system on your phone so you can answer client questions from anywhere, or your staff can get the answers they need from anywhere. Let's jump in. All right, so starting here, you just want to hit create new notebook. This is where most tutorials stop. It's just like upload a PDF, but here's what they're not telling you. So you can upload directly from your Google Drive. You can add in copy text. It will pull YouTube transcripts, or you can upload files. What's really cool about the latest update is you can now do web search, and you can do either fast research, which is great for quick results, or in-depth research for deep reports and analysis. Let me show you one that I've already set up here. So if you have a YouTube channel like me, I just basically drop in all of like my talking points. And for this one, I've got it to create an overview of what I want to talk about today. So this is how to scale with NotebookLM. You can connect your Google Drive. And also, pro tip, don't just create one notebook with all of your business documentations. You could have your website and business contacts, but then have a notebook for sales, for delivery, for operations, and upload different things into each of those notebooks for different use cases. So one of the best use cases for business owners with NotebookLM is to create these notebooks based off your SOPs. So how NotebookLM works, on the free version, you get 50 sources, or if you're using paid, it's up to 300 sources. And it's essentially like a RAG database, which is just retrieval augmented generation. So it will only pull from the sources that you allow it to. So you could have all of your SOPs stored in a document on Google Drive, and then you could give this notebook to all of your staff, and they can just come in here and ask questions. They can generate audio overviews, flashcards, mind maps to understand your business processes. This is a really nice way to onboard clients. Also up here, you can configure the chat. So for this one, I've just said you're a YouTube strategist. These prompts were rubbish. It's just for the purpose of this tutorial. But you could have, you're a staff onboarding specialist. Here's all our SOPs. Your role is to. So what is really magic is if we just ask a question here. So let's just say, what are the best ways to use NotebookLM for business workflows? And all of these sources currently selected. So I could actually go out if I wanted to add more sources, and it would use Google to pull in sources for me. But if you see here, it references where it has this information from, which is a really nice way to be confident in the answers that you're getting back. So this is like no hallucinations, no making stuff. It answers questions, and it tells you exactly where it gets that information from. All right, so let's jump into another use case. So you can automate your client onboarding here. So you've got a new client or a new team member, and instead of them pinging you in Slack every 5 minutes asking, how do we handle revisions, or, where do I find this document? How do I contact you? They can ask your notebook. And the cool thing is, whatever sources you have allowed it access to, it will only answer from those sources, which makes it a really nice resource for client onboarding or staff onboarding. So why this matters, your team gets instant answers with proof, and new staff can onboard themselves, and clients can get quick answers without waiting for your reply. Quick question, drop a comment if you've already tried NotebookLM but only used it for like research. I want to know how many of you are in that boat, because you're about to see what you've been missing. All right, so second use case, and this one's honestly my favorite because it saves me hours every single week. Creating case studies from your project notes or from your testimonials that are sitting in a Google Sheet somewhere or a Notion dashboard somewhere. And a quick reminder, stick around to the end because I'm going to show you how to access all of this from your phone, which is an absolute game changer when clients or staff ping you at random times. So if we jump into this notebook that I have created, this pulls a whole bunch of my testimonials from previous clients and workshop attendees. It's also grabbed my website, so it has that context of my business, my service offerings, etc. So it has then created this brilliant slide deck, which I have sent to clients who are thinking about doing one of my workshops. And the really cool thing here is it's pulled out all of the client testimonials. It shows really nicely like the actual ROI from the language from my client testimonials, which is incredible. It has pulled out my 2 core offerings, and you can just jump into your custom prompt and tell it to use your branding colors. Just want it to highlight the benefits of working with me, and I want people to book one of my 2 services after reading this. And so the way that you do that is you just jump in here. I like to make it short, otherwise it gets quite verbose, and presenter slides. And then you just drop in here what you want. The other cool thing is video overviews. So now with the update, you have all of these options that you can choose. Whiteboard is really cool. And if we jump in here, this is an explainer video. And again, you can have a custom prompt. I've put here, this is the style prompt. And also I want it to focus on why people should work with me and the transformations I provide via my workshops and consulting. So it has pulled those quotes from my website and it will go through. I could have this embedded on my website on that sales page would be really nice to use this. So when you're using this for things like client case studies, you could upload project briefs, meeting notes, strategy documents, results and metrics. You can even, upload screenshots of text messages that when they're happy with you, as well as like client feedback forms, things like that. And one of the best features of NotebookLM, as we've gone over a couple of these, is this studio. You can also create these interactive podcasts, mind maps, reports, infographics, data tables, and flashcards. If you were using this to onboard staff, flashcards and quizzes would be a really nice way to train your staff and make it interactive and interesting for them. So this is an infographic that it created. Again, this is all in my branding colors, and it's pulled out all of these quotes from clients who've worked with me too. I did a recent video on Claudebot, and so let's test the quiz function here. Let's just say, can you test us on what security measures you should consider before installing Claudebot? We just hit generate and that will, let's have a look and see what it's come up with. So when setting up Maltbot, what is the most frequently recommended method for isolating the application to prevent potential damage to your personal files and operating systems? And also if it's too hard, you can get hints here. This is incredible for staff training. And instead of you presenting dense information or them having to read over all of the documents when they first start, you can get them engaged in the content. If you want to share these notebooks with your staff, you just go up here and hit share and then allow access to people or groups. You can also set here a welcome note and do they have access to the full notebook or the chat interface only. So that's how you build a living knowledge base that your team can actually use. All right, here's what I promised you at the beginning. How do you get all of this on your phone? This is actually like a game changer because you can literally have your entire business knowledge base in your pocket. Clients can ask a question at 9 p.m. and you've got the answer with citations there, or they have the answer with citations there. So here's how it works. So you can download the NotebookLM on your phone and access your notebooks there as well. Also, another thing that people miss is you can jump into Gemini and hit NotebookLM and pick a notebook and add it. And you can pick multiple at the same time and then talk with those with Google Gemini as well. All right, so let's recap what we covered. Setting up NotebookLM with your Google Drive, client onboarding knowledge base with citations, same with staff onboarding and actually getting engaging content rather than them just reading a folder of onboarding documentations, case study generation from project notes, pulling in your website information with your offers, making it branded in your colors and fonts as well, and keeping it updated and sharing it with your team via the NotebookLM app. If you found this useful, subscribe for more AI systems that will help you scale and actually see ROI on AI. I will drop the link to my membership below. So stop using NotebookLM like a student and start using it like the business owner that you are. And I will see you on the next video.